Hello everyone, welcome back to the Divine Speaker. If you're interested in playing this game yourself, check out the description. There'll be a link to the game page. The Safe for Work game page, I hope. I haven't checked that page in a while actually. And when I say safe for work, I mean like there's nothing too scandalous on the page. I am late. I'm doing this like before my upload, after my upload date. And I have so much to do in this next week before I go offline. So wish me luck! After only a short search, we finally come upon the person we were looking for. She sat side by side with Silver, talking quietly. Every now and then, a smile would play upon Sylvia's face before I went back to being seemingly neutral, as if she didn't want the other to notice her emotions. I felt a little awkward approaching them, but we were both pretty hungry.
I spoke to Elliot last night. Hopefully my words will be a weight on his mind.
You know he's being sincere in turning them down. There's not any other choice.
I would think that being formally human, both Elliot and yourself, you would be especially concerned.
I'm not from here. You know that.
People are people, wherever they're from.
I don't mean to interrupt.
Then don't.
Sylvia, good morning, Rain. Sign, did you sleep well?
She winked at me and I found my eyes darting away from hers.
Just fine, thank you.
I'm glad to hear it. What's troubling you?
Actually, we're a little hungry. I was wondering where we could get food.
A baby chick begging for scraps.
Hey!
I'm not sure if we'll be allowed in to eat anywhere. How about I go collect some food and we cook it together?
Cook? Together? That sounds perfect.
He knows how to cook. Damn, son, you got lucky. You got a man who can cook and clean and everything.
Playing house, are we? Fine, I'll find you again later.
At least I think Rain would be able to, just because, he grew up in an orphanage. I bet he had, like, duties that he had to do growing up. It's like, if we want to keep this orphanage clean and tidy, everyone has a job to do.
Don't be silly. You'll come eat too.
I really can't cook. Don't worry. I'll do it for you.
This can only go well.
With everyone else gone, the silence sat in between Elrond and Varys. Neither of them spoke up, unsure of how to address what happened the night before. Oh, it's been a while since I played and I'm still not recovered from them. I'm never going to be recovered from them. Every second ignoring the elephant in the room just added to Elrond's heartache.
There doesn't seem to be much around town, but shall we take a look?
I think that would probably be best.
Nice place, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty cold, though.
You too. The two absent-mindedly strolled through the small village. Some people looked at Varys in curiosity, but no one dared approach them. But no one dared approach when they saw the human he was walking with. Before they knew it, they'd already seen the whole village. They stopped at the entryway, thinking of what to do.
How about we search the surrounding area? Even if we don't learn anything useful, this might be your only chance to walk in the mountains.
Might as well. We're not going to get much out of these villagers. They're looking at me as if I'm diseased. Which, I should point out, I'm not.
They're just scared.
If anyone should be scared, it's me. Maybe one of those gods will decide to gobble me up. Who knows?
You know I wouldn't let that happen.
I wouldn't mind if it was you. Oh, Elrond.
You won't always be around to keep an eye out for me.
Yeah. The village faded into the distance as they walked the mountain paths. They were rough and unsteady, not at all regularly used, but something about it made it more charming. Caves and chasms dotted the mountainside. The two, ever curious, couldn't help but to explore every nook and cranny. It hurts. Why won't he bring it up? Is he ashamed? Was it just out of pity to make me feel better?
Ilron,
That kiss.
I was just going to ask you. The air feels wet. Is there hot springs here?
What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Amazing.
god, these two. They're so pretty. Oh my god, please. The bluish. It's so good. The green-haired man tugged at a loose strand of hair, playing with it absent-mindedly.
I'm sorry. It was a mistake. I shouldn't have done that to you. It was unfair of me.
Don't say that. Anything but that.
Excuse me?
The worst thing you could possibly say right now is that you're sorry for something I've been wanting for years.
It was a lapse in judgment, Ilron. It couldn't ever.
Yeah,
It wouldn't work.
not even like just a little over 5 minutes in on my end, and it's like already destroying me.
If you've lapsed once, then surely one more time isn't that big of a deal.
Oh my god. Elrond's eyes wandered down to Varys's lips.
Think of it as a goodbye kiss.
Oh. I'm remembering the last achievement, and I'm just like, it's not gonna happen again, is it? It doesn't. Oh, okay, I'm fine. At some point, the two had gotten so close together that their faces were already nearly touching. Elrond stroked Varys's cold cheek and smiled at him, some cheekiness returning.
I'm not that bad of a kisser, am I?
Varys stood up on the tips of his toes and left a single kiss on Elrond's lips. Oh, yes. Woo! But it wasn't enough. It would never be enough. If all Elrond could have with the love of his life was a lapse in judgment, then so be it. If he was going to leave, then let there be another memory made first. Aw. Elrond pulled Varys in close and their lips found each other again, this time much more frenzied. All the passion and longing from 7 years of wistful pining finally came into light. Where Varys laid his hands, Elrond could feel a warmth spread throughout his entire body. His heartbeat picked up and almost felt like it could burst out of his chest. If this is my only chance, then I have to tell him. Elrond's fingers became tangled up in that peach-colored messy hair. God, I'm having emotions. Varys let out an audible gasp when he pulled lightly.
Elron.
Ooh. Elrond moved away from his lips and gently planted kisses down Varys' neck. Again, every spot he touched was freezing cold.
Are you cold?
Perhaps a little.
With heated breath, Elrond's eyes gazed sideways at the hot water of the springs before falling back to Varys' face.
How about a dip?
Wow. Sorry, I'm just like, whoa. In a single movement, Elrond unwound the scarf around its place at Varys' neck and threw it to the side. It landed in a clump on the rocks, discarded. A trail of goosebumps ran over his skin as Varys felt down his body. Elrond was well-toned, that was obvious, but touching him was something else. Elrond's hands made short work of the buckles holding Varys' coat in place, but he pulled back, holding his clothes around him. His cheeks were flushed, unlike his usual composed, calm self.
I don't think this is a good idea, Ilron. Really.
Sometimes the bad decisions are the best ones. I mean, look at my life.
His long, dark eyelashes brushed against his skin as he looked to the ground, deep in thought. As if he suddenly come to a decision, Varys' eyes met Elrond's once again, and he let go of his cloak. Unbuckled, it hung open at the front, exposing parts of his clear porcelain-like skin. Elrond felt himself swallow hard. He really is beautiful.
Go on, get in first. I'll join you in a moment.
With a nod, his cloak fell to the ground. He'd seen it more times than you could count. His body, so beautiful it didn't look human. So why did it feel so different now? Was it the way he looked at Elrond with heated eyes? The way he dipped a single foot into the hot water? Or the way he finally descended into the spring, letting it come up to his waist? Elrond turned away, face already flaring up. Come on, Elrond. Don't get too excited over nothing. Calm down. Calm down. Undressing felt like it took an eternity to Elrond. Just behind him was the person he loved, completely naked and waiting for him. One after another, his clothes fell to the rocky ground in a pile, until he was finally ready to enter the springs. His foot broke the surface, and Varys' eyes wandered as Elrond stepped into the hot, steaming water, looking away despite not being able to see him. He sunk down, sitting on what could almost be described as a ledge carved into the rocks. There was a distance between the two, a silence, but only for a moment. Varys, chest exposed to the cold winter air, inched a little closer until he was just barely touching Elrond. That was enough. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh my god. Elrond half stood, leaning over Varys, and bent down to kiss him. Varys returned the advance, his wet hands reaching up to loop around the other's neck. Their bodies settled into each other as if it were only natural, as if there were the last two pieces of a puzzle gently setting into place. The spring was hot, especially after standing in the cold mountain air. But Elrond wasn't sure if the heat he was feeling was that, or he couldn't help but peek out of his half-closed eyes at the man beneath him. Varys gently bit his lip, and Elrond took this as a sign to sink further into him, relishing in the feeling of Varys' touch. Gentle but firm, just like him. It was almost too overwhelming. It felt too unreal, as if he'd blink and Varys would just disappear. Well, that's almost true, isn't it? This is it. He was drawn back out of his mind by a gentle touch on his thigh. Varys' hand rested against him, working its way upwards to his hip, where his fingers dug in.
Elrond,
Varys pulled back, hands around Elrond, breathing heavily. Elrond couldn't help but stare back into his eyes, equally flustered. Whoa.
Do you want me to stop?
No. Not even a little bit.
Unhooking an arm from around Elrond's neck, Varys gently caressed Elrond's cheek, his eyes filled with both lust and sadness.
I just wanted to say that I'm sorry. It wasn't a mistake. I just don't want to hurt you. Anyone but you.
But you'll still leave me. Oh, damn. No, stop thinking that, Elrond. Being selfish. Keeping him here would only hurt him. I'd rather spend my life alone than leave him with an eternity of pain.
You're all I've ever wanted, Varys. Nothing you could do would hurt me.
Except leave it. Varys looked at him with a face that said, even if I can't stay with you, but his mouth remained firmly closed. They both knew it. So I ruined this moment by giving voice to it. With a tender pull, Varys closed the gap between the two of them, their lips instantly finding one another yet again. Pressed so closely together, kissing with 7 years' worth of passion, it took neither of them long to start reacting. Reality faded away, Sidcaeum, demons, gods, speakers, they were all gone. For now, they could be just two ordinary people who wanted each other more than anything else. Elrond could feel Varys' quickening heartbeat against his chest. It felt so fast, so different to anything he'd felt before, but he was sure this was much the same. How could it not be? I think this is where we're going to stop. If not, it's going to stop here. You're going to have to check out my Patreon if you want to see the whole scene. Okay? Cool.
Elrond, are you alright?
Were you serious?
I wouldn't lie to you.
Then
But It's because I care for you so much that I can't stay. To love someone is to accept that eventually you'll lose them. And I can't. I can't run.
Right. Right, of course.
Wow, I'm about to cry. Like, actually sob. Hold on, let me recompose myself. Ilron found himself thinking that he was glad for where they were. The hot steam rising from the spring waters would be able to disguise the tears that had already begun to form in the corner. Oh god. Would be able to disguise the tears that had already begun to form in the corner of his eyes. Even if Varys couldn't see them, at least he could lie to himself. But that couldn't disguise the sound of his voice, and that was something Varys thought himself an expert of. I can't stay. Man, damn it. Ugh. Man, that was a whole fucking section. I don't want to do this. Okay, this episode is going to be cut pretty short. I did 30 minutes of recording and that is my limit right now. If you're interested in playing this game yourself and not missing those not safe for work scenes and you're 18 plus, check out the game. Links are in the description. Or you could check out my Patreon to check out that scene. Oh, how long? Hold on. This two and a half is also doing a Kickstarter for their new game. Dreambound? I forget where it ends. It might be ending soon. And I'm late all the time. I'll get this out as soon as possible, but they have a new 25 days to go. And it's called Dreambound, a story-rich BL mystery visual novel. I have backed this project. I will probably play it on the channel whenever it does come out. If I'm still doing YouTube at that point. Right now I'm like, I'm hitting my wall. Hopefully this offline vacay is gonna like recharge me. But yeah, if you wanna, there's like point and click escape rooms and everything. If you wanna check that out, I'll also have that link in the description. So if you like the Divine Speaker, you probably like Dreambound. The art is very nice. And there's a character I really like, but apparently they're an asshole and I'm just like, damn it, why does this keep happening to me? But yeah, links always in the description. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.